We're live.
Hello, everybody. Michael Symon here. Day 2, we're doing 5 recipes from the new book, Fix It With Food, Every Meal Easy. The recipes that we're doing in these 5 days are all in the reset chapter of the book. The premise of the reset is, this is the second Fix It With Food book. All new recipes, new shopping lists, new prep lists, substitutions, all that things. But one of the things we discovered when we did the first book, when I was dealing with my inflammation issues, is I first had to kind of do this 10-day reset to almost like to get everything out, and then you start introducing things back in. So the first 10 days are, for the most part, vegetarian. I mean, yesterday we had eggs, but we're eliminating, the reset has no meats, no flours, no sugars, no dairy, no alcohol. That's it. And then you really kind of cleanse your system. And then there's recipes throughout the rest of the book that you start introducing things in a little bit at a time to see what your personal triggers are. My personal triggers are dairy and refined sugar. Then that's what I've learned from adding things back in. Now, one of the beautiful things about eating this way is this isn't a diet book. This isn't a regime. You can't go off it, whatever. There's days, even as someone who shouldn't eat dairy or sugar because that's what causes me inflammation, there's days that I eat ice cream. That's a thing. I'm talking to 2 cameras right now, so if it doesn't look like I'm looking at you, we have a Facebook camera and an Instagram camera. So I have Alexa on Facebook. Katie is on Instagram. So we're trying to make this thing as smooth as possible for you. I know some Facebook people were up in arms yesterday. We had some technical issues. I don't even know what was causing them. You know, winter storms, who the heck knows? So yesterday we made the crispy fried eggs with the avocado, the tomato. I put some chili flakes in mine because that's what I was in the mood for. Today we are going to do a really simple smoothie. These 2 items that we made yesterday and today could be had for breakfast. You could use the smoothie as a midday snack if you want, if you're a little extra hungry. Remember, this isn't a diet book. We're not counting calories here. If you are on a counting calorie diet, you could count calories on your own, but this isn't like a counting calories book. I hate the word diet. It makes me slightly insane. You know, it's like 99.999% of diets, I feel that like you're set up to fail. Like, I'm on this diet, then you go off the diet and you stress out. Like, that's not what this book is. This book is to eat foods that make you feel better. That's what this book is about. So, do we have any questions, Alexa?
Let's see. Not really. Everyone's just saying hello. Love from Vegas. A few from Cleveland.
All right.
Well, there's someone who said that they asked their boyfriend for the book for Christmas and he did not deliver. So that's a bummer.
Who are you rooting for in the Super Bowl?
Oh, that is a loaded question.
This could be a long conversation.
That's a loaded question, Katie Pickens. So now, you know what? As most of you probably know by now, I'm a diehard Cleveland Browns fan. So the Cincinnati Bengals are in our division, which makes them our rival, which makes it hard to cheer for our rival. That being said, they are an Ohio team, and their quarterback, Joe Burrow, is an Ohio kid who left Ohio State. So there's that. But he's very good. He went from Ohio State to LSU. And then the Rams have OBJ, who played for the Browns but left and went to the Rams. So we have Ohio kids. We have a kid that played for the Browns. I don't know. I'm just going to cheer for a good game. I'm not going to let you guys get on me. I may be cheering for the Rams. I have a lot of friends in California. I don't know. I'll let you know. I'm going to place a bet the day before the game, and that'll be the team that I'm cheering for. Norman, get down.
Okay, we got a food question.
What is it?
Can you replace the avocado in this smoothie with something else?
Just eliminate it. Just eliminate the avocado. If you need some additional fat, you could put in some coconut milk. If you would like, make sure that it is unsweetened coconut milk. I would say 2 things. If you're allergic to avocado, obviously eliminate it. If you're not allergic to avocado, this is just giving you a little bit richer, fuller flavor. You're not gonna, if it's like, I don't like avocado, you're not gonna taste the avocado so much. It's just to give the smoothie a little bit of a creamier situation. But an unsweetened, non-dairy fat like coconut milk would work. Coconut yogurt may work, but check to make sure it doesn't have any added sugar. Any other food questions?
What's a good sub for coconut milk or water?
Water.
Regular water?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these things, like look, a lot of people, what I've found with food is there are certain times there are people that are allergic, especially in this day and age. I think more people are allergic now to different things than they've ever been. I think a lot of that probably has to do with how food is processed these days compared to how it was processed a long time ago. So a lot of times if you're finding things that are natural and organic and done right, the reaction you may have to them changes. Obviously, check with your doctor first. I don't want to say, oh, you were allergic to that, get an organic one, you're going to be fine. That's not the case. But like I know with like flour, for example, Kyle, our son, owns a donut shop. A lot of people, when the shop opened 5-6 years ago, they were like, 5-6 years ago was when everybody thought that flour was like death. It was like everybody was like, no gluten, I can't eat gluten, gluten's bad, no gluten, no gluten, no gluten, no gluten. Now some people have celiac, which is a serious allergy. Some people, gluten will cause them inflammation. What I found is, for me, if I eat a highly processed flour that's been bleached and enriched and all that and bromated, I get inflammation. If I have flour that like a King Arthur flour that's never been bleached, enriched, or bromated, no inflammation. It's like why people go, when I eat flour in America, I don't feel good. I go to Italy, I have pasta every day, I feel fine. They don't bromate their flour there. They don't bleach their flour there. They don't enrich their flour there. So you don't get the bloat, and all the things that come with that. So often if you just find the source. Now, if it's things that you may have not liked in the past, or, I would say give it a try. Try it the regular way first, and go from there if it's not something that you are allergic to. We're all adults here. You shouldn't be afraid of food. The only food I don't eat is raspberry and kiwi. Again, I'm allergic to those two things. Everything else, I minimally try. Except for Katie was talking about fruit roll-ups today. I've never tried one of those.
Not yet.
Angel, my mom Angel didn't give us fruit roll-ups as a kid, and I just missed my generation, I guess. I'm of the no fruit roll-up generation. Okay, so ingredients: avocado, lemon, pineapple, turmeric. We have turmeric with some black pepper in it, which helps activate it. You could buy it that way. If the turmeric that you had does not have the addition of black pepper, you could put a little bit black pepper in the smoothie. It helps activate the turmeric. We also have a fat with the avocado, which helps carry the turmeric, so you have better results from it. We have coconut water. This is the one that Liz and Katie always buy, so I'm assuming it's the good one. I don't drink a lot of coconut water myself. I just drink plain old water. But is this a good coconut water, Katie?
It is. It's very strongly flavored, very coconutty.
Coconut-y.
There's other brands that are more watery. If you have an issue with the coconut flavor.
So I will tell you something that I did learn about coconut water during the whole pandemic situation and getting shots and all that crap stuff. I'm not anti whatever, I got my shots and vaccines and all that stuff. But when I got them, Liz and Katie was actually living with us at the time in the midst of the pandemic. They were like, make sure you drink a ton of coconut water to hydrate yourself before you go, because it has all these electrolytes. I've never been so hydrated in my life. I drink like 8 gallons of this stuff, I think. But I felt pretty good because it does have a ton of electrolytes. It doesn't have all these added sugars like some of the sports drinks do. So if you're looking for a liquid that is electrolyte rich and very hydrating, coconut water is great for that case. That's all I got to say about coconut water. Sorry, Norman, I scared you. We have a nub of ginger. We have pineapple. And then I will get some ice in a hot second. Katie is on the phone or filming, so she can't get the ice. So I'm going to get the ice. So in the cookbook, all the recipes in the reset section of the book are all recipes for one. I'm going to make this for two today, so I'm just going to double it. And all the recipes within the book. One of the things we did with the second book that we learned a lot from the first, from requests people had, is they like, I want to try this. Fix it with food. I want to eat this way. All the recipes were for 4 to 6. I can't get the rest of my family to try all this, all these things. So we made all the recipes in the reset for 1. We made all the recipes in the rest of the book for 2. All the recipes in the book, though, they're not recipes where if you double and triple and quadruple, if you want to make them larger batch, you don't need to change anything. You just need to double, triple, quadruple. So very simple math. I always feel that it's easier to make more of a recipe than to do the math to reduce it. Maybe I'm better at multiplication than division. I don't know. Just me. All right, so I'm going to get a little ice. You guys hang out there.
I have a few questions about the coconut water over here, so I'm going to show everyone. It's Harmless Harvest.
Vita Coco is also a good one, and Trader Joe's makes a really good coconut water.
Oh, could you guys hear that? Vita Coco and Trader Joe's.
From Katie Pickens.
You heard it here first.
Katie, so some of the questions that came in yesterday is, not everybody knew who Alexa was yet, and they were like, where's Liv? Liv has moved to Los Angeles with her fiance, soon-to-be husband, Daniel. She's still doing Symon's dinners with us. And now Alexa, who actually grew up with Liv, is taking Liv's spot, doing all our social stuff and all that kind of stuff, helping me with all that. So say hi, Alexa.
Hi, everyone. What's going on?
Her and Liv are in the same height category, so it works perfect. We're shooting at the same levels. And Katie, who is on the other camera, Katie does Throwdown with me on Food Network. She's also been the culinary director for our company forever. She's worked with Liz and I for about 15 years now. So all the recipes in the cookbooks, the shows, Katie tests all those recipes, and then she does Throwdown with me. So Katie, you need to say hi to everybody. All right. So now everybody knows everybody. We got Katie, Alexa, we got me, and we got Norman whining about, you're very whiny this week, buddy.
We have a few questions about the pineapple. Can you use frozen pineapple for this?
You could use frozen pineapple for this. One of the things, though, that we're going to do that you won't get in frozen pineapple is we're going to use the core of the pineapple along with the flesh. The core has a little bit more fiber than just the flesh does, which helps. It also has a good amount of bromelain. So these are all great things that are good for digestive, nutrition, tons of vitamin C in the core, all those kind of things. So there are some health benefits from getting the core and the flesh, but frozen pineapple can be used 100%. And frozen fruit is one of those things that I think works really good in smoothies. Like sometimes I buy blueberries, sometimes I don't eat them quick enough. I put them in the freezer. Sometimes I just buy bags of frozen blueberries because I like blueberries. But any fruit, freezes very well. All right, so I'm going to use about half of this pineapple. And we're just going to peel it, and then we're going to leave the core. So whenever I peel a pineapple, I kind of look down the barrel, and you could see where the flesh ends and kind of the skin starts. See where the little spots are? So if you just take your knife and keep it within the spots and go all the way around, you'll get most of it. If you miss a spot, you just do that. And this thing is super ripe, Pickens. Wowzers. It's beauty. And then I'm just going to hack this up and put it in my blender. Now, a lot of people always ask, like, what do you got? What pans do you use? What knives do you use? What blenders do you use? So blender, I use a Vitamix. Vitamix it's a cleaning company. Maybe that's why I use it. But it's also probably the most powerful blender I've ever seen. And what I always try to do with equipment, and if you can afford to, is if you kind of spend the money up front on the good stuff, it lasts for an eternity. Like a lot of the equipment I cook with at home, like you'll see the certain pans and knives and blenders, they're the ones that we've used in the restaurants forever. So like I look at a Vitamix and I say, oh my God, if this thing lasts for 10 years in a restaurant, that means in a home kitchen, it will last for like 700 years because in a restaurant, it gets used all day. People beat the crap out of it. So we've had these in our restaurant since day one, so 27 years ago. And they've always held up really good, and that's why I have it in my home kitchen. The other thing is they're I'm going to say 10 times more powerful than a regular blender. So if you really want to get something smooth, it's unbelievable. There was an ad one time. It kind of sounds gross, but it always made me laugh. There was a Southern chef. He goes, it could turn a groundhog into gazpacho. That's gross, right?
That's mean.
I know.
We're getting a lot of how do you pick a perfect pineapple? And
pick...
also an avocado, a ripe avocado without cutting into it.
Okay, so pineapple, if you turn it around and you kind of push the bottom of it and there's a little bit of give, that means it's very ripe. Also, you could just give it a slight press on the side. It should have a little bit of give to it. You know, so see how this has just a little bit of give to it. Now, don't go in the grocery store and manhandle all the produce. Just give it a little press. You know, when one is super ripe too, when I pick it up, I could smell, you could really smell a very ripe pineapple. You know, this is the kind of color that you're looking for, that kind of darker, you know, the darker green situation. But feel the bottom, it should be a little bit soft. The side should have a little bit of give. That's the color you're looking for, and the aroma. With avocados, you want them to be this kind of darker brown, not a bright green. Also, if you flick there's usually a stem on it. I just flicked mine off. If the stem pops off, the avocado's ripe. Obviously, if it's super soft, it's overripe. But this one, and these are like, when you go to the grocery store, visually you could kind of see, you could hit the stem. You're in good shape. If you really start squeezing these, you're going to damage all the avocados for everybody else. The sad thing about produce at the grocery store is as soon as it's damaged, they have to throw it away. So just be aware of that when you're going to the grocery store. Food banks won't even take it if like a tomato is split or something is damaged. A food bank can't even take it anymore. So just be careful when you're with produce at the grocery store. Don't beat it up too much. So we're gonna take this one avocado. I just go right down the middle, spin the avocado around the knife as soon as it hits the core. Give it a twist. There we go. Boy, this is a big seed. This was like that meme, you know, the avocado. This is if 2020 was an avocado, where it's all seed and all pit, you know, pit and no avocado. But this is a big one. So we're gonna. With this, you could scoop it, or you could also just kind of give it a squeeze. Since we're pureeing it all till smooth, this isn't a dice situation. So I'll just squeeze it right in. Same here. We're just gonna squeeze it. You see, it'll pop right out. Squeeze it right in. Obviously, if it's a dice and slice situation, this doesn't work. But if you're making guac or if you are pureeing it, you could just squeeze it right out of the seed. Hi, Norm, you're back, buddy.
No, I got someone say, Katie Pickens, you're a badass. Love the hoop earrings too.
Oh my gosh.
Hoop earring? You don't even have a hoop earring.
The nose hoop?
I don't even see the
I don't
hoop.
know.
Wow.
Are there hoops on Throwdown?
Oh, hi,
Maybe.
Mrs. Pickens.
No, it wasn't. What kind of knife brand is that? Sorry.
Oh, this is, I'm using Ergo Chef today. They just gave me this actually, but Ergo Chef's a brand that I've used a lot in the past. Very solid chef knife, affordable. Good if you have arthritis because there's a little bit of curve in the handle. I use Maiden a lot. Those are like my at-home everyday knives. Nenox is like my professional knife. Again, that's a relatively pricey knife, but that's the one I use professionally. But for my home knives that kind of take a little bit of beating with everybody using them, and I like the Ergo Chef a lot. I like the Maiden a lot. So I'm just gonna chunk
We've
this.
gotten the same question a couple times actually about tomorrow's recipe for the mushroom stock. If they can't find dried mushrooms.
Okay, so
use.
if you can't find dried mushrooms, you could use fresh. You're gonna need about twice as many as you would dried. I have to be honest with you guys, I haven't been to a grocery store in the past 10 years in any city. Like a lot of times people be like, I'm in a smaller city that does not have dried mushrooms at the grocery store. I see them at every grocery store I go to. Maybe ask people at the store where they are. But you could use mushroom stems. Like a lot of times if you've watched some of my cooking class and cooking demos, I always tell people to take stems and freeze them. This would be a great place to use those stems. You could throw the stems in there. But if you're using fresh as opposed to dry, you're gonna need about twice as many. All right, so half a pineapple. Ginger, take the spoon, and to peel it, you just run it right down. And it's gonna peel that skin right off. I'll be honest, sometimes I throw it in right with the skin too. A little extra fiber. And the Vitamix really kind of just obliviates it. But in this case, I'm gonna give it a peel for everybody. And I'm gonna use this whole nub. Ginger is great for digestion. You know, it's great for anti-inflammatory. It has a lot of benefits. And I just think it tastes great in a smoothie. Any other questions, guys?
Kind of where you can find the mushrooms. A few people are saying that you can find them on Amazon and Costco.
Lots of people are having trouble finding dried mushrooms.
Okay, I mean, so obviously you can order anything online these days. That's not going to get to you for tomorrow. If you can't find the dry by tomorrow, get fresh, double the amount, you'll be good. So
Perfect.
that's what you want to do then. All right, we are going to put in our turmeric. Again, this has a little bit of black pepper in it already. I'm doubling the recipe, so I'm going to put in 2 coconut waters. It's 8 ounces for 1, 16 ounces for 2. This is all doubled.
Can you use the Vitamix for frozen cocktails and stuff?
Heck yeah. This is a margarita waiting to happen. It is, I mean, it's super versatile. Soups, like they're so powerful that you could actually take, like, if you made a tomato soup and put it in here, you could put cold liquid in here, and if you left it on long enough, it would heat it up to almost a simmer. That's how strong it is. But great for cocktails, great for soup purees, great for sauces. Anything that you want to get smooth, it's fantastic. Frozen margaritas, it rocks.
Fresh turmeric versus dried turmeric. Is there one that's preferred? Can you use either one?
Either one will work fine for what we're trying to use it for. I don't find turmeric to have a ton of flavor. If you're using fresh, you need twice as much volume-wise as dry, because the dry one is a little more intense.
We have a few people allergic to mushrooms. What substitute
Just a
should they
good
use?
old-fashioned vegetable stock will work fine.
Okay.
If you're allergic to mushrooms, use a vegetable stock. A lot of people don't like mushrooms or mushroom flavor. Again, you're getting some health benefits from the mushrooms in tomorrow's dish, but the mushrooms will not overpower the vegetable stew we're making tomorrow. They're just going to give it a little bit more depth of flavor. All right, we're going to juice our lemons. Go on, Katie, you have a
We've
question?
gotten a couple. Can you substitute turmeric for anything? Do we have to put the turmeric in?
Put in the turmeric. I mean, if you don't have it, don't put it in. It's still going to be a delicious smoothie. But turmeric has tremendous health benefits. And no one could say, I don't like the taste of turmeric. It has basically no taste. Like, they put it in things to make it yellow when they want to make something yellow but have no taste. It just has tons of health benefits. So if you can't find it or don't have it, you could omit it. There's no substitution for it, but there is no taste to it.
Along the same lines, is ground dried ginger okay in place of fresh?
I don't think you don't get the health benefits from the dried ginger. I have found that you do the fresh, so I would try to use fresh in that case.
What about minced ginger in a jar?
Never seen minced ginger in a jar. I have no idea. I'm gonna say if it tastes anything like minced garlic in a jar or pre-peeled garlic in a container jar, I would say don't use it, because jarred garlic or peeled garlic is very off-putting in a flavor for me. I'll tell you guys a quick story. Katie and I had an event to do last weekend, and we were cooking for 700-800 people, and obviously there were blizzards and everything else. So we couldn't get whole fresh garlic. They could get whole fresh garlic in. There was some peeled garlic, and we wanted to put garlic in the dish. We blanched it in boiling water 3 times and shocked it, changed the water out every time, and it was still so overpowering that like we like barely used any, because it was just so overpowering. It had that bitter, strong garlic flavor instead of that beautiful, sweet, aromatic garlic flavor. So anything that's pre-peeled, pre-chopped, like stay away from that stuff at the grocery store. The way that they do most of those things, those like, I'm assuming they do the same thing with gingers, they do garlic, is they put it in boiling water that has bleach in it to get off the skins and do all that stuff. And then they buzz it in these huge vessels that create a lot of heat, and that's what makes things bitter and strong. Any other questions, guys?
I have lots of questions rolling in.
You go ahead, Katie.
Do you recommend using canned pineapple in this?
No canned pineapple.
Frozen instead.
You can use
if you
frozen
have to.
or fresh. Do not use canned.
Do you have a good middle of the road price-wise olive oil brand that you like?
Oh, I mean, these are the ones I cook with. This is my favorite olive oil, one of my favorite olive oils of all time. I wouldn't say it's middle of the road. It's a little bit more on the pricey side, but this is the olive oil that we use at our restaurants. You know, especially it's the olive oil we use at our restaurants. It's a great olive oils from Sicily. Greek olive oils tend to be a little bit less expensive, but still absolutely delicious. And then the California blend of olive oils they're pretty affordable, and these are very, very solid. This one, I mean, this is why the price is a little bit lower. Like this blend, you know, they're getting the olive oils from Argentina, Chile, Portugal, and California. So it's a blend of a bunch of different regions, so they're able to make it a little less expensive. It's not a single origin olive oil, but has a very appealing flavor to me.
We do have a couple pineapple allergies. Do you have a substitute for?
I would say if you have a pineapple, like this is, you know, I don't want to say avoid it. You could put cantaloupe in here, honeydew. You could make this, it would be delicious with strawberries. I mean, obviously the health benefits change based on what you're using, but all those would work very well. Strawberries would actually be great with this. Coconut, strawberries, ginger. Strawberries would be great.
I have a question about what's the right order to adjust seasoning? Is it salt, acid, sugar, or?
I don't know if there's necessarily an order. I mean, when I cook, I salt in the beginning to bring out the full flavors of food. I typically finish with acidity at the end to brighten up a dish. I never add sugar to a dish other than natural reoccurring sugars that are in fruits or vegetables. Sometimes I'll finish something with a touch of honey, but like I don't put, like some people put sugar in their tomato sauce. Every time they do it, I hear my grandmother roll over in her grave 5 times. So I mean, desserts, we put sugar. But yeah, I would say you start with salt, you finish with acid is a good way to think about it. And if you were adding something sweet, you would add that at the end, not the beginning. Okay, so we have in our pineapple, we have in our ginger, the juice of the lemon, the whole avocado. This is, remember, recipe ×2, a good chunk of ice, and the 2 things of coconut water. Now I am just gonna blast this. If you are using a Vitamix, start on low and go up. If you start on high, everything is gonna end up on the ceiling. It's gonna get a little loud in here for a moment, so just everybody calm down. No questions, please. But who wants to listen to the blender all the time? But I still think that this, yeah, I mean, the Vitamix still, I mean, you saw how fast that happened. Super smooth already. You can see how nice the thickness it gets. That's not even from the ice, really. That's from the avocado. Gives it that nice kind of natural creaminess. And you guys, like with this, with all the things, this is obviously not a fancy technique. We're blending a smoothie, but But think about the things we add in here: the ginger, a little bit of acidity, some natural occurring fats, the coconut milk, and then customize it for your liking. You could use strawberries, you could use banana, you could use different fruits. So if you are allergic to something or hate pineapple, this would be a good way to substitute it with different fruits also. But you know, pineapple is, for me, tasty in here, really crappy on a pizza.
Can you make this smoothie the night before or in the morning for your lunch?
You can make it in the morning for your lunch. It obviously probably won't stay cold. Will still be delicious. Might have to give it a little bit of a shake, but it shouldn't separate too much. You can make it the night before and put it in your fridge. Absolutely. What I would do is just, if I wanted to make this in the morning and I didn't want to have to mess around with anything, I'd get everything cut, diced, sliced, put it in a sealed Ziploc bag, and then you can just throw it in with your liquid and buzz it in the morning. The avocado, you know, make sure the avocado is really tight with not a lot of air or it will brown out. This shouldn't change color too much with the avocado in it overnight because it has a good amount of acidity between the pineapple and the lemon. All right, guys, any more questions?
Do you use the pineapple like skin for anything?
I do not compost. Save your stuff for compost. This is really good. I'm gonna continue to drink this. Tomorrow, 6 o'clock, same time, same sandbox. We are gonna make a vegetable stew. We posted the recipe for the mushroom stock, and if you wanna serve the stew tomorrow with some brown rice, you can make that ahead of time too. The brown rice and the mushroom stock recipes are both in the book. Tomorrow's dish is a little bit more on the hearty side, will be great for lunch and or dinner. So if you wanna cook along tomorrow and use that for dinner, you're golden. All right, guys, see you tomorrow. Live, love food. Bye.